Hello, Internet. I hope everyone is well. How are you guys?
We're clearly doing well already because lovely Simon is here already talking and really appreciating our epic music as always.
Yeah, we do like our epic music. It certainly sets the mood, doesn't it? It gets all nice and excited. So, very quickly, guys, before I forget, we are supposed to be having a very special stream this evening, and we're supposed to be talking Let's Talk Board Games with Ben Burns from the Pandemonium Institute. But unfortunately, due to manufacturing commitments, they are unable to come on the show this evening, and it's going to be rescheduled. So they've sent their apologies. We are going to be redoing it. But don't go anywhere. We're still going to be having a bit of a catch-up. We're going to be talking about some of the things we've been doing since Expo, and we're going to talk about a bit like the old days, what games we've been playing as well, and also talk to you about something new that's on the horizon. So, there's lots of very cool things on the horizon, and let's face it, we all like new things and we all like games. So let's talk games. So without further ado, I just wanted to talk about Battlestar. Right? No, we're not. Simon, you're so typical. Yes, we like Battlestar. We're not talking about Battlestar tonight. There's plenty of time for that. We've even had the special podcasts, 2 of the special podcasts, including the one that a certain person no, I can't even get it right. There. Over there.
It's
Gregor.
me.
I really can't get it right. He edited, and I must admit, it went down really well, and it's actually really funny. Dan will be sad. I know. He likes his Battlestar. We all like Battlestar. You know, Battlestar is one of those games. And it's even sneakily made its way into our new branding. If you've seen our new branding, which looks kind of cool, I would say. I think we have a certain Mr. Gregor to thank for some of that. His efforts have gone not really missed.
You're very welcome. I didn't realise it was going to be popular. George was just like, create a Discord invite banner, and that is everywhere. That is the branding now. I hope that's okay.
Yeah. No, it looks great. I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And I must admit, even the sticker from UK Games Expo has now made it into the corner icon in our live stream. You can see over in the right-hand corner. There you go. I've got it right this time. Yeah. So that's the sticker, and I've just made a few little tweaks, but it looks great. He looks wonderful. So
good old ink.
Yeah, good old ink. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is what have you guys been playing since Expo? Because I've been playing all manner of things, but I'm going to talk about 2 because one's hitting the website. There's a review tomorrow, so I finally got round to playing Swatch and doing the review, and I don't want to spoil it too much because, like I say, the review is hitting the website live 8 a.m. tomorrow. All I'm going to say is...
It looked like a very beautiful game when we saw it at Expo.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been playing that quite a bit.
And of course, Lincoln alums designer.
Yes, exactly. He's a Lincoln alumni designer. He hailed from Lincoln University, which is nice, before they redid the logo, because of course Minerva Tabletop Games, the icon from it was the owl, used to be in the logo of the Lincoln University. So it's a nice little touch. I like that. I do like that. I was quite chuffed when he told me about that story. So that's Scott from Minerva Tabletop Games. And secondly, I also finally got this. Yeah, Stuffed Fables. I really like it.
Enough, mate.
Yeah, I know. I really like it. But
only problem is now, what am I going to get my goddaughter for Christmas?
Well, you can get your goddaughter something else, because of course this is not really age appropriate, not just yet, because it's for ages 7 and up. But I actually
the 7 and up bits for you whilst you do the bedtime story.
Yeah, exactly. But I haven't actually bought this, and I also haven't been sent to review this. I actually rented this. Yeah.
From
from rentshuffleandroll.co.uk. Yeah. We're doing a review of their service, and I must say, I'm quietly impressed so far. There's going to be a full video and a full article coming on the website. But I must say, Rent, Shuffle and Roll, if you haven't checked them out, go and check out. They've got a vast catalogue, and we're actually doing a review share with them. So where we've reviewed games, they're making it onto their site, and hopefully, traffic reciprocal back and forth. But every review that we've ever done, if it's in their catalogue, it's on their website, which is amazing because it links through. But no, you'll have my good, full, honest review, not only of this, but also of how it works. But I will say, initial, impressions are great because it arrived within 2 days, literally.
No.
And it come.
Where do they dispatch from? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't look at the label, but. It comes with, the box comes in the box, and it comes with all the shipping labels to send back as well. So you're not paying anything out yourself. You're just paying for the initial rental. You get credits, and you use those credits to any number of games you wish to rent from them. And then when you're done with it, you can send them back. You can even, if you really, really, really like the game and you don't want to go out and buy it, you can actually talk to them about buying it. Which is,
is it one of those things where, like, when you rent it, you can decide if you want to keep it and then you just pay the rest?
I think I just got that. Yes, if you really like it, then you decide you want to keep it. Then yes, you can talk to them about keeping it permanently. Yeah, or you can just rent it again for a longer period of time if you want. If you want to extend it, but they give you a deadline in order to send it back. So it works really well. It's like I say, so far, so good. So
glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. And like I say, I've been wanting to get hold of this game for a while. I meant to get it at Expo, and I completely forgot. Last year, it was so out of stock, it was unreal. So, but the miniatures are really nice, I must say. I'm just trying to find some of the cute ones. Who ones are the characters and not the minions? No, minion. Come on. No.
They are so.
Here you go, the little elephant. The little elephant.
Well, that is cute.
Yeah, really nice quality. And like I say, I can't paint them because it's rented.
Because it's rented.
So, yeah.
Although,
but
that's arguably be adding value. You can send it back to them, and they can rent it out for more.
Maybe, but no. Like I say, I've played it once through, and I want to just play it. So I want to play some more. So, but the artwork's really cute. Well, and it's one of these games, a bit like Gloomhaven or the New Wizard Jaws of the Line, where everything's in the book, including all the maps.
Yeah, I was going to say, when it says an adventure book game, I'm guessing that you've got campaigns in there.
Yeah, all the campaigns are in here. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Simon, what's Simon saying? I've been playing 221B Baker Street, also on the site, and it's a really awesome Sherlock Holmes mystery movie. I've heard good things about that. Haven't you played that, George?
Not me.
I think
Gregor and Becca have.
No, we've played a similar.
Or you've got the slightly different version.
Yeah.
It's the same game in a different box. One moment.
Yeah, I think Dan has though, so that's always good. So, but that's what I've been playing. What Simon also put? It's dated. Rolled. God.
Yeah, thank you for
board
it.
in the base game, but it's a house rule. Me and Mrs. decided to roll 2d12s instead, and it does speed up the game. Okay, well look, it's never a bad thing, house ruling a game if you feel it needs speeding up. I think we've all house ruled a game at some point, haven't we?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So George, what have you been playing since Expo?
Oh, me. I've working through a number of the reviews between me and the missus. Had lots of little games. We've got a few others coming up. Big one. We did talk to them at Expo.
Yeah, we played it. Yeah. I don't want to spoil the review too much, but I think we all agreed we liked it, didn't we?
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous, totally beautiful. Eric York's art is just absolutely stunning. I'll say I completely understand why the designer just fell in love with the artwork immediately. I mean, look at these stunning black and whites. I mean, if I can actually get focus properly here. I mean, they're so beautiful and crazy and amazing. And I absolutely love them. Love them, love them, love them. Yeah. And yes, so many other...
When we saw it at Expo was about how he said that the art came first and they created a game around it, but yet the game is still really good and intriguing and unique.
Oh, definitely. And I think there are so many people out there that, admittedly not most of our friend group, that can be put off by the words social deduction game.
Yeah, sorry. It's me, one of them. But I don't dislike them. I don't dislike them to a degree, but I'm no good at bluffing. No.
Well, fortunately, that's one of the things that you don't have to do on this one too much. It's a social deduction game where there is no obligation to lie.
Exactly.
That's my missus doesn't always like social deduction games for exactly the same reason, and she loves this one.
Yeah.
So, lovely little word nerd who is knee deep in one of her other reviews at the moment, getting herself lost in a solo RPG for Be Like a Crow. So you'll have to watch this space for that one coming up soon as well. Yes, we've had a number of little ones on the go, and so we've got a small pile behind and I am working my way through them as quick as I can for you all. That they will be coming in thick and fast.
Yes, Simon, Blood on the Clock Tower is the biggest social deduction game. And, the general consensus across the team that, that it is good. But I still haven't played it. Not through the lack of trying. Not through the lack of trying. It just always is. You always do it either on a weekend or when Amelia's been awkward. So...
Awkward.
Yeah, and also at Expo, I was too busy.
Yes,
I was running around like a headless chicken, but not through for the not love of doing that. I'm a freak, and I know I like to be busy. So shoot me.
So hang on, let me get the gun.
I am a workaholic. I know I am. So, but yeah. Okay, so that's a good update from your end. What about you, Mr. Gregor?
It's occurred to me that the main game that I've been playing is currently in the room where I actually play games. So I might go and get that as a prop, but I've also written a review of it. It's going to be up on the site at some point. It's written, so whenever. It's not my department. One of the other things.
Not next week, but week after.
Oh, so that's Friday. No one's setting their calendars. Doesn't matter. Some Friday.
No, it's coming. It's coming out soon. Coming soon to an email near you.
One of the things. Have I got the other game? No, I think they're both downstairs. Oh damn it! Oh, I have had a chance to play this, which is. I think I mentioned this to you, Chris, because originally the Star Wars live stream was just a sci-fi themed board games, but then you realised you had so much Star Wars content to mine that you didn't need any extra stuff. So this didn't make it to that, but this is really cool. Basically, you play as frogs who have been sent by. Frogs are sort of demigods, I guess, that you've been sent by higher powers to devour the remnants of a dying world. And if that doesn't intrigue you, then that's I don't know what more I can say. I really like the models. I know you're a models kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love my models too.
The frog.
Oh wow,
he is super pretty.
Okay, yeah, they look awesome.
There are effectively it's 2 to 6 players, but when you play with 2 or 3 players, you're encouraged to sort of have 2 characters each to try and make the game a bit more balanced. So there are 3 different types. I quite like this sort of spirally back frog that's going on here. And where's the other
Why
one?
am I now just imagining the Hypnotoad from Futurama?
I was just thinking that too.
But yeah, and the other thing, the thing that I was really most impressed with component-wise, as much as those are beautiful, it comes in the box with this, with a play mat, which still smells new somehow, which looks like. Unroll all of it. Let's step back a bit.
I've seen this comment
like that, which is like it's a proper rubber playmat type thing. Also pretty cool. But basically, all your hexes on here have some sort of terrain on, and basically your aim of the game is to sort of swallow up as much terrain as possible, without trying to explain the whole rules of it. But yeah, it's really fun. It takes a little while to set up because you have to put tiles. You have to count a specific number of tiles, and also they all have to go on this play mat. And all of these hexes are one tile. So it takes a little while to play, but
it's never a bad thing, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like basically the thing that I would say is the most sort of intriguing mechanically is that you have. Instead of taking turns like in sequence, you have a deck of cards that basically have the colour of all the various bases that the frog miniatures can sit in. And basically, if you pull a purple card, it's the purple frog's time to take a turn. And then you pull the next card, and then you pull the next card. So you can have multiple turns in one go, or you can it can be ages between your turns. There's no way of you knowing because it's effectively random luck, depending on how the cards get drawn. The other cool thing about it is that within that same deck, there's also a card called Ether Flux, which effectively your frog has a personality and an archetype card. So there might be a Warbringer or something like that, where they're a bit more combat focused, or there are different ones, different special abilities. When an Ether Flux comes round, basically that you either have to pay energy to keep the same personality, or you can get a new one from the deck. Which is it's another interesting mechanic because it basically keeps it so that rather than you're playing the same type of character, you need to be pretty flexible throughout the game because you might have already spent your energy on your turn. You don't have any energy to save your character card, so it goes back in the deck, and you need to pick a new personality. But yeah, I've waffled on about that for long enough. But I really like the components. I think it's a really good game. At some point, I want to try and play it with 6 players because I think that would be interesting.
Well, next time we have a get together, you should bring that on.
I will do. I also thought you'd want to see it.
Yeah, no, I like the look of that. And one of our new followers, Robin Ellicott. So I say hi to Robin, everyone. She says, "Space frogs for the win." We like to hear that. And also, Arif did point out earlier. It says you guys should do a live stream of Blood on the Clock Tower. That way, Chris has to play.
I'm up for that.
Fine. Okay, then we'll arrange it. We'll stick it in the schedule. We won't do it. We'll do a special live stream of Blood on the Clock Tower.
I feel like we're sort of in debt for the amount of live streams and other bits of content that we've promised to do. But
we can figure it out.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the concept. I'm all about encouraging Chris to participate in social deduction games.
Definitely.
Also, I'll say for the record now, before it stops being true, and George can testify to this, I have 100% being good rate at Blood on the Clock Tower. I'm a good boy.
I don't know. Let me pull the spreadsheet up.
And he's not kidding when he says he's got a spreadsheet.
While George pulls the spreadsheet up, I'm going to go and grab the other game I've been playing. I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay, cool. Well, while we're waiting for Gregor to come back, Simon says, "What a game mechanic there, Gregor, or a plug for the next game of Flux." Interesting. Not quite sure about that. but it's nice to have everyone chatting away in the comments. It's nice. We thrive on your comments, guys, during the show. So if you have got any questions for us while we're on the live, then please, of course, do feel free. While we are waiting for Gregor to come back, I just wanted to mention that, of course, you might see these games behind me just over here. Okay, so these games have been ever so kindly donated to us by Big Potato Games. These have been donated to us because, of course, the work we are doing with Dementia. We've done lots of raising money for Dementia UK, as some of you may be already aware. And Big Potato basically said, let's get some games into people's hands. And that's what we want to do. So we want to get at physical board games into dementia patients' hands. So if you have a loved one or a friend of a family that is a dementia patient and is in a care home, and you think they could, benefit from a game, if you've got a game in the house, great. Think about simplistic games that they can play, and if not, reach out to us and we'll see if we can try and get one of these to you. Okay, but these are for that purpose. But do let us know in the comments or drop us a message otherwise. Okay. But you'll see some information come up on the website in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that announcement as well. But we are working really hard to try and get physical games into dementia patients' hands. So in the meantime, back to Gregor. What did you want to tell us then? What do you want to show us now, Gregor?
Well, what I want to show you, it turns out it was on the shelf all along. I just cannot turn my head like an owl. So,
Owlies.
Oh, don't mention that.
I had to say that for Suey.
You'll summon Owl. You'll summon Suey.
This is by far the game that I have spent the most time playing since we left Expo. Was that a game mechanic or a plug for the next game, Flux? What does that comment say? I can't see.
Yeah, that was in response to the last. You're talking about Cosmic Frog.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I understand. Okay, no, it's Cosmic Frog. All game mechanics. I won't talk about Flux. It'll make Dan angry.
It makes me angry.
Well, Flux is a brilliant game.
It's fine. It's okay. It's just fine. Anyway,
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I do have a copy, but yeah,
So yeah, this by far is the game that I have spent the most hours playing since Expo, which is Stardew Valley board game. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the video game of the same name.
I am aware of its existence and a vague concept of what it is.
Do you want to explain the vague concept of what you think it is, and I'll tell you how that relates to the board game?
It's a farming game.
Nice box fart, sorry.
Yeah, I've just realised I did that right next to the mic on the device as well. Great, excellent. Basically, it's Stardew Valley is a sort of Harvest Moon-like video game where you play as a farmer. But rather than it just being like farming simulator, there's other sort of adventure type things you can do. There's lots of storylines. There's villagers in the Pelican Town, which is the main settlement in Stardew Valley, and it's also massively popular. Yeah, absolutely, Arif. Stardew Valley's excellent game. You'll be pleased to hear, not to spoil the review, which is coming out on a Friday in the future, but it is excellent. Let me see, they've all come apart in the box.
I suppose good general question for everyone at this point, whilst he's finding his components. Is anyone else aware of any board games that started out life as a computer game first? I think this might be a first, as far as I'm aware.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. There's Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, but usually, and Horizon Zero Dawn accepting, they tend to be kind of cheap spin-offs. Usually, they're usually it's just a Trivial Pursuit, for example, with a video game brand slapped on it. Also, the fact that you insulted Horizon Zero Dawn meant that Chris immediately just evaporated on my screen.
I think that probably means he's going to have to get his copy and shove it in our faces.
Right, okay.
And by our faces, I mean my face, of course.
No, I wasn't going to do that at all. No, I was getting the baby monitor and realised I hadn't got it.
That's all right.
Great
but yeah,
moment.
If you have played Stardew Valley, as I gather that some of you in the comments have done, the board game is really there's so much content in the video game, right? So there's literally, you could, and I have spent several hundred hours in the video game because there's lots of story. Concerned Ape, who's the guy who both developed the video game and created this board game, has updated the game with massive updates for free about 5 times since the game's release. But that is the board. So those of you who are familiar with the map of the video game might notice that it's relatively similar. So basically, that's where your farm is here. So you can plant your crops there. You travel about the town. And ultimately, the aim of the game is that you will have 2 types of objective. One are community center bundles. So those of you who've played the video game will know that for most of the time, the main aim and sort of the base game is that you are trying to complete bundles to restore the community center so that the rather neglected Pelican Town can become a lovely place to live again. In the board game, you're doing something very similar. You're fulfilling the bundles for the different rooms. Those are all card decks, so they'll be different pretty much every time you play. There's a deck for completing the craft bundle, the pantry bundle, and all that sort of thing. And the other thing that you want to complete are grandpa letters. So that makes it a little bit different to the video game, but the idea behind the grandpa letters is that you are they're sort of more qualitative rather than quantitative, if that makes sense. So it's more about, some of them could be making friends with the villagers or getting to a certain level in the mines or something like that, rather than just have 2 stone and 2 fish or whatever it might be. So that is that's fundamentally what you're going for. One of the things that I think is incredible about this is that basically, so in the video game, there's all sorts of things you can do. You make relationships with villagers. There's farming and foraging for items, and there's minerals and fishing and mining. There's all of that's also in the board game. So you can go to the mine and mine for minerals or for items or for stuff like that. You can also you can buy crops from the town and farm them in your farm, and it's very comprehensive compared to what the video game was, but I've talked about that enough. My only main criticism for the game is that it's actually the board game is surprisingly difficult, especially when you're playing for the first time. The way that things move on in the game are that you have season cards like this one, where basically at the end, every time each player at the table has taken their turn, they basically play. As soon as the last player takes their turn, they draw a fresh card from the season deck, and the season deck basically tells you what is going to happen before you get to take another turn. So, for example, I cannot remember what the star one is off the top of my head. The little cat face basically means the first player marker moves. The fish marker means that there's a little fishing track for like what fish you can catch. That means that moves along. And also the little shipping bin icon at the bottom there means that you can sell stuff. And you can trade between the players and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's basically how the game moves along. Like I said, my one criticism of it is that I found that to be particularly punishing, especially when it comes to if you're playing with a lower player count than the full 4, because what that means is that I don't feel that the game quite balances for the sheer amount of just a fewer turns that you will get between the season deck coming through. Because as much as those things that I showed you on that particular card are good, there are some more negative effects on the season deck, like, for example, a crow might come along and steal the crops that you've got planted. That's Stardew Valley. I've literally only touched a tiny bit of that. Even in my review, which is almost 2,000 words long. Sorry, you're going to read that in 2 Fridays' time. Even in my review, it's I've literally took chunks out of it because I was like, I don't need to spend the whole time in this review explaining how all the game's mechanics work because there's just so much stuff in this game. So yeah, it's definitely, if you have played Stardew Valley the video game, you will love it because it's very similar to it. All the sort of stuff that you like about the video game is in this board game. If you have not played Stardew Valley the video game, you will probably still like this for the board game that it is, but because it's quite punishing, you may wish to just watch someone playing it on Twitch or watch a video about the various lore that's in the game or something like that, so that you're a bit more embedded into all of the things that are in here, rather than just being plunged in. Because if you're plunged in, you have quite a punishing game, then actually you might go, maybe this isn't for me. Please hear they kept the theme of it during the conversion, Simon. Yeah, I think what is integral to that is the fact that Concern Date, who is the guy, so the whole of Stardew Valley, massive video game, was one indie developer whose real name is Eric something that I can't remember, but it goes by Concern Date. He is Concern Date on the box. And yeah, basically, I think the fact that it's not like he's sold it on to someone else and they've just made a game of it, that actually it is in and of itself the Stardew experience from the guy who made it, is what makes it such a good and inviting game. Do you have any more questions in the comments, or any more suggestions for video game themed board games?
Oh, definitely have some more suggestions of video game themed board games, and I will apologise to Robin now. Okay, no need to leave. I accept that I am wrong.
What did you?
I think that was in response to the Horizon Zero Dawn meh at the time. Yes, no, I accept I am wrong. And Simon, of course, suggesting Super Mario Brothers having a board game, and of course the lovely June, which was, of course, first a book, then it's also been a movie, and asking lovely questions about what are movies to games and how do they compare. I suppose I can. One of our old reviews, pluggy plug, go on the website to find that one, is for Die Hard: The Nakatomi Heist, which is interesting. I think it was an interesting game. It works reasonably well. I don't think it quite gave you the same movie experience, but it's certainly a good little romp for the first couple of times for it. So that's one to check out at some point, perhaps. Simon here saying the only movie-themed board game he's played is The Crow. Fire it up. No,
I am vaguely aware of the movie. I have. No, hold on, not movie. Yeah, movie-themed board game. Yeah, I'm only vaguely aware of the movie. I have no idea what the board game is. Got any more on that, Simon?
Yeah, I have no idea on that either.
This is all audience interaction. You've got to help us. Yeah. You can't just name a game.
Yeah. But yes, no, I think Expo was just an absolutely wonderful experience this year. It just actually felt alive again compared to 21. So 21 was good as a nice sort of reintroduction to it, but the full con experience was amazing.
Yes, I was sort of, especially that Friday. Obviously, I know it was the bank holidays were a bit different, but
it was a very weird year.
The fact that it opened with such like a grand, just the sheer amount of people all having fun and playing games, it really set the tone for a good weekend, I think. Oh,
definitely. It was, I say, it's just like, I forget which day they did it, but basically the Unleash the Horde barrier reveal as everyone charges in for those quick deals, get them before they're sold out. It's amazing to see. So.
Sorry, I am slightly regretting opening the box for this.
Well, I think that says a lot about how much there is in it and how full content is. So how many boxes do you open it where you're like, huh? Where's the rest of my game?
Well, not to bang on about components too much, because I feel like I've already done a bit too much of that this evening. But the other things that I like about it is that this won't come across on camera, but these are really nice quality bags to hold tiles in. They're fabric rather than your sort of standard plastic drug dealer bag. And you also, all of the little tiles that represent all of the animal goods and all the crops that you can grow sit in a tray that I hope...
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, they all just sit in a tray like that sits on the top. So that rather than if you decide that you want to buy a particular crop, rather than you having to search through anything, it's just there in a tray. I
love when game companies actually think their storage solutions through like that.
Yeah, I also think that it's the same sort of attention to detail that is in the video game, where almost everything seems to be in there for a reason, is also true of the Stardew board game. And yeah, I like it. I am 100% sold on the Stardew Valley brand. I was not expecting that to be that. I didn't really know what to expect from that, because I was like, well, they just had a popular thing and they've made a board game of it. It might be fun, but actually, it's really, really good. Yes, I'm glad you liked the tile layout. One of the other nice things about buying at Expo is at Expo it went as low as 40 quid, whereas sometimes you will find the RRP of it on some websites to be in the UK to be about 55 or 60 pounds. So buying things at Expo is it's as much as some people are like, why don't you support your friendly local game store? Actually, it's also about your going there and supporting other traders who trade in the real physical world, and also
most of those are still friendly local game stores, just happen to be at Expo.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just not your friendly local game store.
Yes. And some people live far away from a friendly local game store, so actually having one place where they can come and spend an obscene amount of money and then drive home and take it all home again is not a bad shout.
Yes, I have seen a number of people who do just buy a year's worth of games at Expo and then rinse repeat.
Yeah, and if you want to, if you do live far away from a friendly local game store, don't worry. There's a company where you can rent games from. I've literally found out in the last 50 minutes. There's an address.
Yeah.
It's a shame Chris isn't here to actually talk enthusiastically about it, because he knows what it is and I don't.
Well, I say I am aware of the service. I say I've not had a chance to look at the catalogue too much. I've been too busy with our own review copies and things. But when I did look at the catalogue, there were loads of good stuff on there. Lots of solid games. Say you're probably not going to find the brand new latest shiny, but there is so many games out there now. There is going to be something that will suit your taste, whatever it is. And
also, I think that just the idea of having that as an option for, like, how often am I going to spend £40 or more on a board game? Not that often. If there's a big game that I've been tempted by, but I don't necessarily want to spend the full RRP on it, actually, I've got the option of renting it.
Yeah, I'll say for some of those big games, so look, your big Kickstarter games, when they get to 100 to 200 plus, by the time you've got all the add-ons and nonc that goes with it, if you start going, can I really afford that for what is probably going to end up being 2 playthroughs with my game group? Because, when do we ever get all 6 people together for the optimal playthrough of this? And yeah, I say rental services are great for that. And also brilliant for those sort of wonderful try before you buy experiences where you want to just sort of, you're not sure about a game, you just want to have another chance with it. And I think the other one, there's a lot of games out there like story, legacy games, campaign modes, where once you've done it, you've done it.
Yeah.
If you can rent the game, knock it out quick, knock out a few campaigns here and there. Like Time Stories is probably one of those. It's an absolutely beautiful game, brilliant to do and play. But personally, I always resented the price tag for what is effectively a one-shot game.
I mean, I kind of get
rental services are brilliant for this.
Oh, so it's a credit type thing, almost like, I think it's Audible, isn't it? Like the audiobook thing where you have credits.
Well, for those that are old enough to remember it, before Prime took over Love Film.
Yes. I've caught up where you're talking about. So you're talking about rental services again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No. There are occasions where they work out, and like I mentioned earlier, if you find a game you really love and you don't want to send it back, talk to them about it. So.
Yeah, like chances are they'll be able to get their hands on another one, and you can just buy that one off them.
Yeah.
Or they can cycle out their stock and they'll find the next new shiny game that will come into their warehouse.
Yeah. No, it looks like we've had lots of comments, which is really nice. There's lots of positives, there's lots of pros and cons about these kind of services, which is why we're taking an in-depth look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. The little bubba woke up and she's more important, especially when I'm on duty. When I'm on duty, I'm a responsible dad. God, I never thought
I'd say that.
Yeah, I know, but I got her back to sleep. She's settled again now. She's a happy little papa.
All we've got there is a view of what your desktop looks like.
There you go. You just about make her out now. There you go. Fast asleep. Good girl. Just a little bit upset. She was a bit warm in her room, so.
But yeah, hey, a bit warm in our room at the moment.
It's a shame. I was about to be like, Chris is gone. Let's talk about Blood on the Clock Tower. But
well, you can talk a little bit about it. The show was supposed to be about it.
Dream, right?
Yeah. So yes, apologies again to anyone that's joining us late and was expecting to see Ben Burns. Unfortunately, there's been some minor scheduling conflicts for the last minute stuff, but we will be getting him on the show again at some point. We just need to figure out a date which works for everyone.
However, we've had an amazing question come through from Arif, which I think we should look at, because he says, how do you feel about the pandemic has pushed more board game developers to open their games to online playthroughs? Yes, it really has. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the only thing. Maybe effects of the pandemic as well, because I think also the fact that trying to ship things is such a nightmare at the moment that actually it makes much more sense to be able to just, if you want to make a tweak to your game, you can just make it happen online. Go and do. Thank you for letting people see my forehead. You can just let people play it online, and if you want to change it or tweak it, then you can just do it rather than having to call someone in China to make a change and then get it shipped out to you and wait for. I've Kickstarters that are shipping from overseas that left their origin country 2 months ago and still haven't made it to the UK yet. So
yeah, I would say I think certainly the mass adoption of the various physics engines like your Tabletopias, tabletop simulators, and I'm sure there's half a dozen others I'm not aware of as well.
Yeah, there's lots out there.
The amount of rapid prototyping that it's allowing developers, and even especially like the really small developers, to just really hammer down a prototype really quickly, where before it took weeks, months of laborious hard work crafting these little test components and having to scribble and write all over them, and now it's just a few quick clicks and oh look, that's the next thing up. Let's try that now. Yeah,
exactly. It's crazy, and also the adoption of solo player is a lot more abundant now. Who'd have thought it? I think solo games and solo modes were very elusive, 3-4 years ago, but now they're rife everywhere. And I don't want to give away too much, but there's a review coming live very soon tomorrow that has a very clever solo mode, so do check that out. And also we've also interviewed a solo RPG type adventure based game, which looks really good, called Devoured, and we saw that at Expo, and we had a chat with the designer there, and we did do a live stream with him. Unfortunately, the stream was such a poor quality we had to remove it because the sound was just inaudible, so it was a real shame. But keep an eye out for that. We'll be doing the official review on that also very soon as well. But it has the vibes of one of these books. Either of you guys ever done an adventure book like Warlock on Firetop Mountain? No? Basically, it's a novel, and as you go through it, it gives you options, and you have to do skill checks, and if you win, you go to certain pages and go to the next stage of the story, and it's all different outcomes based on what you choose within the book. And the game is very much like that, but set with cards, and it's very thematic, very dark, and it looks fantastic. So Devoured is going to be coming soon. I've been paying close attention to his design process. It looks amazing, and like I say, for a designated solo game, it looks amazing. And I don't like solo games, not normally. I'm not normally a solo person.
When is the interview coming out?
So the interview, what we did do at Expo. With Craig, exactly.
When is it scheduled for? Do we have any idea? That's what I meant.
So there's no date at this moment in time that I can remember off the top of my head. He's not doing a typical Kickstarter, if I recall. He is using a different system. So when I know more, of course, I will share more with everyone. But yes. With all sorts of things, that are coming out as part of it. It reminds me of old Goosebumps, Choose Your Own Adventure books from where we were kids. Yeah, well, this is a classic Steve Jackson, Ian Livingstone book, and I got this after someone told me about this on Twitter. Yes, I used to be a complete devout, I will never go on Twitter, and then I discovered it when we were doing Diary of a Lincoln Geek, and now I love it. And someone recommended this. And this is this is a really brand new copy. I've not touched it because I have my own copy, because this is going to be a prize for a competition we're doing very soon.
Excellent.
Yes. So there'll be all sorts of announcements coming on the website soon. So do keep an eye out for that, and also on future live streams. So, and there's going to be a few by the looks of it, because of course apparently I've got to play Blood on the Clock Tower on a live stream. So thanks, Arif.
Yes, you will.
So we'll arrange that. We'll try and do that within the kind of normal schedule, but we'll try and do it on a Thursday when I'm not being responsible for a child.
Maybe not necessarily a Thursday. We'll work out what works best with everyone. So
yeah, we'll figure out.
After all, we need a decent group. We'll definitely get the group going for it.
Yeah, and maybe after dark as well, after normal hours, because I know what these sessions can be like.
Yes, knowing us, we will definitely need to have the not safe for work filter.
Yes, exactly. So there'll be all sorts coming up. Last thing I kind of wanted to mention was someone made a point here. Where was it? Here we go. Simon says, yes, online platforms are available to play board games. His expansible tabletop simulator, my favorite, Tabletopia. Dicebreaker is one I've not heard of. I've not heard of that one. There's lots of simulators out there. So and there's lots of different platforms that isn't just Steam as well, that you can get amazing deals on as well. What was someone pointed out to me the other day? What was it called? I'm trying to remember now. Got it here on my system tray, and it's called. Give it a moment to load. Epic Games. I'd not heard of Epic Games before, but I got a digital copy of the Game of Thrones board game for free. I was like, what? Yeah, I got the Game of Thrones for free and HUD Outlaws and Legends for free. That is awesome. Who doesn't like free games?
I don't like free games. I like to support my friendly local game stores and my designers.
Yes, but these are all. That's not at all cringeworthy. Get your head out. Get your head out.
Yeah, Chris,
I still support
games all the time, huh?
I do support.
Loader.
I do support local game stores. Always have done. Bricks and mortar. Thank you. But no, this is a particular instance of a digitalized version of a board game that I haven't played for a long time, and I fancied having the digital copy. So Game of Thrones, I've got it now, which is good. Simon makes a valid point. Apparently, Epic Games release free games every Thursday for people who don't know about the platform. So if you want to go check that out, you can. We're not sponsored by them. We're not affiliated. We're just telling you about it. There you go. Free service.
Yeah.
But of course, do support your local game stores. We do believe in that. Let's face it, bricks and mortars are important because they support lots of hobbies. So that's not only is your local games workshops or your Warhammer worlds or your local geek retreats or whatever geeky gaming venues you have in your cities. Go attend, go check them out because there's lots. Lincoln has tons. I can't keep track of the ones in Lincoln. But if I remember correctly, we also have the Lincoln Imp or Ink Games, I believe it's called. Goliath Games on the main high street, as well as obviously our Geek Retreat Lincoln and, of course, our Games Workshop. But also think about your local gaming clubs. You know, do you guys, because for some people who may not be aware, not all of us are actually from Lincoln anymore because, you know, since when we started diaryofalincolngeek, some of us have had to move away. And not all of us are now based within Lincoln because there's lots of games clubs in Lincoln. Gobsticks Gaming Club is one. There's one in Gainsborough, if I recall. I can't remember the name exactly, but they're affiliated with Gobsticks. But what local gaming clubs do you guys have in your areas then?
I assume that's a question for us and not...
Yes, you. And for you at home as well.
I mean, I'm going to steal what might well be George's answer, and in the treehouse is not that far from me, which is a board game cafe that is pretty excellent. That's probably the closest thing to... I don't know of any sort of more formal board gaming clubs around. But
there are various bits around Essex. We're both nearer Sheffield than anywhere else, realistically. And I know that there's down at Patriot Games, not necessarily formal clubs, but they have an awful lot going on at Patriot Games as well.
Well, exactly.
Patriot is one of the places where there's not really an official club. There's just people turning up and they're constantly playing something.
Yeah.
Simon tells you I'm going to my gaming club Board to Death that meet on a Friday in Ashvale, Aldershot area. There you go. That's cool.
What a great name, Board to Death.
Yeah. Brand new Geek Retreat. That's the only local one that you've got, Robin. Oh, bless you. Okay, well, look, that's never a bad thing. There's still geeky things you can play there. If I remember correctly, Geek Retreat, they do all sorts. They do Yu-Gi-Oh!, they do Pokemon, they do also board game nights as well as RPG nights, which is also really important because let's face it, I think everyone in our group at some point has done some form of TTRPG. So they know they're just as important as any board.
And for those who aren't familiar with the anagram, Chris.
Oh, TTRPG is tabletop role-playing game. Yes. One of the many analogies that I actually know. And it's not a TLA because it's not a three-letter acronym, before anyone says. Yep. So, but no, I think we've... Oh my God, crikey, has it been 50 minutes?
Yes, it has.
Christ.
Yeah, sorry,
that's gone quick.
Quite a while.
Yeah. No, it wasn't all just you, Greg.
That's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. So Arif says there's a Fanboy 3 in Manchester, super welcoming him to new players and regularly have D&D nights. That's fantastic, Arif. That's nice to know that we're reaching further afield and people are actually playing games all over the UK because it's important. Lincoln was not that long ago nominated the Geek Capital of the North. I'd like to know if that is still true. I'm not convinced that it still is, but
not convinced it ever was.
Well, no, it was because it was mentioned. It
might have been nominated, but
no, it was on Look North several years ago.
Yeah, that's not biased. That's not biased at all.
Well, they said,
really, Lincoln is Midlands.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I thought.
You're not north until you're Yorkshire and
capital of the Midlands.
And even then.
So if you think you have a region that should be the geek capital of your region, do shout out and let us know which area of your region should be the capital geek capital. That'd be interesting to know. Well, look, I don't know about you guys, but I've really enjoyed this evening. Sorry I missed a little bit of it.
It's all right. We didn't notice you were gone, really.
We're
too busy and interested with Stardew Valley because it's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to catch up on anything I said, there's a full review of Stardew Valley, the board game, going up on DOALG.co.uk in a couple of weeks' time, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
fantastic. So you could always write diaryofalincolngeek.com as well if you really want typing long things.
Yeah, because George likes longer things as well, don't you, mate? You do. You like typing in long things. So, in the meantime,
refrain from comment. This is a family show.
I was talking about typing long things in. I don't know what you're on about. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure this evening. And again, we've talked about quite a few things. But like the guy said, you can rewatch this back at any time. It is available on all 3 platforms. We're very thankful to be able to do that. I think we have one last comment on the stream. We're from Arif saying, "Oh, great show, guys. The last hour flew by. We'll be eagerly waiting for the Stardew Valley review." Well, excellent, Arif. We're glad to hear that you're looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll see you next time on the next show. Now, the next show where we talk about, if I remember correctly, I'm just bringing up the schedule.
Oh, come on. You should know by now, Chris, that it's Crown of Ash next time.
Well, I don't like to big it up too much, but yes, it's Crown of Ash, and we're talking with the designer Richard. The review is coming to the website very, very soon. So we've got a very excellent chat with them. Very excited to have him on the show. Let's face it, I don't think I've bigged up Crown of Ash much at all, have I? Don't recall mentioning it a lot. I think I might have mentioned it too much.
It's not out yet.
Good.
You're just
not out yet.
Not out yet.
I know, exactly. But no, for anyone who isn't familiar with it or hasn't seen any information about it, you can of course check it out on the website, which is crownofash.com, ahead of next week's live show, and have to check it out. And if you've got any questions ready for the designer, then please have them ready at the tip of your tongue, at the edge of your keyboard, and get them out on the stream, and then we can have them answered for you on the day. So it's been lovely chatting to you all. And again, like I say, off the cuff bit of a show, but these things happen and we still run with it, don't we, boys? We like a little bit of random in our lives. Has anyone else got anything else before we finish?
Just a quick reminder again that we will be getting Ben on at some point. We're working with him to find a suitable date, and we will let you all know as soon as we know, and we can get that in for you all.
And if you want to play Blood and Clock Tower, join the Discord link. Chris has posted the link, and we'll get you in the Blood and Clock Tower related Discord server. I've said we. That's definitely George's department and not mine, but you get that.
Yeah, no, thank you, Robin. That's really nice of you to say. And of course, if you have enjoyed the show and you'd like to continue to support us, we also have a PayPal donation link, which is also available on the website, so you can check that out. We haven't quite set up our Patreon yet, but if this is still of interest and there's enough of you wanting to support us by Patreon, then we will get it into gear and get it sorted. In the meantime, it's been an absolute pleasure, everyone. You all take care, stay safe, and keep gaming.
Good night, everybody.
Bye all.